what I'm saying? This is a day where, usually people do laundry, people cook Sunday dinner, people prepare for the work week coming up next week. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking all crazy, but end of the day, ain't nothing wrong with natural. We need to embrace naturalness as melanated people. I'll be trying. Men really want natural women. You know what I'm saying? Like women want a natural man. We should, want the same, right? Or we should desire the same. But end of the day, this video is speaking on which the original New Year's was March 25th. Before they changed the Julian calendar, it was replaced by the Gregorian calendar, changing the formula for calculating leap years. You know what I mean? The beginning of the legal new year was moved from March 25th to January 1st. Which is, like I said, the year of 1752. So at the end of the day, I'm just coming to tell everybody Happy New Year, because you got to look at it. This is the spring solstice. This is the changing of the leaves, changing of the weather. The sun stays, the sun rises earlier and it's more sunlight hours in the day. So this is really the new year. It's your boy Justice Shabazz. I'm just coming back with this video. Got a lot of great content coming. I'm working in Jamestown for the next 4 days, so you're gonna be seeing me different kind of content. Jamestown, I'm gonna have probably some history out there. Probably got a part 2 coming. And my boy CeeLo Dubai, local artist, originally from Jamestown. So so people, always saying Happy New Year, but of course, we was taught by our oppressor. We taught by the people who control, what I'm saying, the 1% that control the world. But why did they change the New Year from March to January? So it says Numa revised Roman Republican calendar so that January replaced March as the first month. It was a fitting choice since January was named after Janus, the Roman god of all beginnings. So it was really paganism, right? March celebrated Mars, the god of war. Some sources claim that Numa also created the month of January, right? So the Gregorian calendar, which was the calendar they acknowledge now, but the Julian calendar was the original calendar that was acknowledged. You know what I mean? The Julian calendar. The Julian calendar is a solar calendar that was introduced in 46 BC by Julius Caesar. It's based on the movement of the Earth around the Sun and includes a leap year every 4 years. The Julian calendar is still used by some Eastern Orthodox and Oriental Orthodox churches, as well as the Amazigh people. Solar calendar. So it was more like, I want to say it was something that was from because most people, the early people who were dealing with solar was the Egyptians. You know what I mean? I don't even say Egypt because that's a etymology. That's a European name. It's really Kemetic people. Alkebulan was just Africa before it was conquered. You know what I'm saying, by Scipio Africanus. But anyway, the Julian calendar had 12 months, 365 days. The Julian calendar 2024 is year 6737 of the current Julian period. The next Julian period begins in the year AD 3268. The Julian calendar has gradually been abandoned since 1582 in favor of the Gregorian calendar. But why? Why did they do that, right? Anyway, not going too deep into it, I just want to say Happy New Year, because the real New Year, like I always be saying, is really March 25th, the spring solstice. You can say March 21st, but they say March 25th, right? And that's why they come back April 1st and they hit you with April Fools, meaning we fooled y'all, right? Because the real New Year's is not April 1st. I mean, it's not January 1st. It's March 25th. Even in China, they acknowledge the original calendar, the Julian calendar, and they acknowledge New Year's as April 1st. Wait, let me look that up. I'm pretty sure that the Chinese New Year. When is the Chinese New Year? They acknowledge it. Okay. Chinese New Year 2024 will begin on Saturday, February 10th and end with the Lantern Festival on Saturday, February 24th, right? They still have a different date as well. They don't acknowledge January 1st as the New Year. 12 days, right? And where does April 1st come from? Let's look that up. Where does the April 1st concept come from? April Fools. April Fool's Day. Some historians speculate that April Fool's Day dates back to 1582, when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. Right? Did I just say that? In the Netherlands, the origin of April Fool's Day is often attributed to the Dutch victory in 1572 and the capture of Brel with the Spanish Duke. So basically, like I said, I don't think that's a hoax. I think that's April Fool's Day occurs April 1st each year. It's celebrated for several centuries by different cultures. Traditions including playing hoax and practical jokes, April Fools. The origin. Some historians speculate April Fool's Day dates back to 1582 when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563, in the Julian calendar. In the Hindu calendar, the new year began with the spring equinox on April 1st. People who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize that the start of the new year had moved to January 1st and continued to celebrate it during the last week of March through April 1st became the butt of jokes and hoax were called April Fools. These pranks included having paper fish placed on their backs, may be referred to as a poison d'oeuvre, April fish, said to symbolize a young, easily caught fish and a gullible person. So, historians have also linked April Fool's Day to festivals such as Hilura, Latin for joyful, which was celebrated in ancient Rome at the end of March by followers of the Code of Cybele. It involved people dressing up in disguises and mocking fellow citizens and even magistrates, and was said to be inspired by the Egyptian legend of Isis, Osiris, and Seth. But at the end of the day, to me, it makes better sense. Why would you celebrate the beginning of the year when the dead of the animals, the dead of the crop, the dead of agriculture, and it's really the hibernation of life, because most people hibernate in the wintertime. So why that be the new year? It is what it is. It's your boy Justice Shabazz just came back with this, video. Great interviews coming soon. Great content. Keep it locked and loaded. It's your boy Justice Shabazz. Protons, electrons. Peace. Happy New Year.